Good evening, I'm Harry Keeling, and on behalf of Alaska Public Media and the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation, welcome to Hangar Flying. Our guest this evening is Toni Breese. She's been on the program before. She's a well-respected A&P who's in charge of tech pubs for Penn Air, and she's their care coordinator. She started out her aviation career as an A&P apprentice in Homer, came to Anchorage and Penn Air in 2012. Toni, welcome back.
Thank you.
Last time you were on the show, we talked about how and when you first got interested in the aircraft maintenance career field. And I pointed out at that time, and I still believe that you're a great example of how women can succeed.
Thank you.
In all fields of aviation, including turning wrenches.
Thank you.
Another area you were really passionate about is your care team. Would you remind our audience who might not have seen that program what the care team is?
Yes, the care team, CARE stands for Compassionate Assistance Relief Effort, and in the event of an accident, then the care team is activated to take care of families and victims of the accident, survivors and deceased.
Okay, so you and I ran into each other a couple of weeks ago, and something happened in Merrill Field.
It did.
Not really not a care team thing, but something from a person who was obviously prepared for what she saw.
Yes.
Tell our audience what happened.
I was working the weekend shift there and heard a loud bang, opened up the office door.
And this is at Ace Fields at
This
Merrill.
is at Ace Fields at Merrill Field, yes. Opened up the door and just saw a big cloud of dust. Didn't know what it was, grabbed my fire extinguisher and ran. Once I got there, there were a few other people that were there fueling up and loading their plane in front of Ace, and we were all there straight away.
And what did you come upon? What did you see?
It's 206.
Mm-hmm.
206, nose down, landing gear was across the taxiway, and there were 5 people inside. People were moving. We were kind of hollering at them, make sure they're okay. There was no fire. I got on the right side of the aircraft with someone else. We were trying to open the door and the flaps were down. Couldn't get the door open.
206 problem.
206, yep. That rear right-hand door is in the way of the flap. So when the flap's down, can't get it open.
And there was no front right door.
Correct.
Unless modified,
Correct.
You won't get one.
Exactly. So we've got that rear, aft, and then forward on the left side. We were able to get the left side door open with no problems and get everybody out of the plane.
You know, it just happened that I was out there because I've got a hangar out there very close, and I was talking to, and it impressed me because the airplane's still sitting there, and there's people standing around with their hands in their pockets. And talking to you, I thought, man, you really have your act together. You're calm, you're collected, you obviously did what needed to be done, and you did it quickly. So congratulations on that. So in a way, you were kind of the first responder.
Yes.
Luckily, there was no fire. Luckily, there was no injuries, but there certainly could have been.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, I got to thinking, and you and I talked a little bit about this, maybe people in the audience who are around airplanes, around airports, ought to think about what would they do in a similar situation.
Absolutely.
Some ideas for them?
I think that small operators, 135 operators, need to really review their emergency response plan. Think of what they're going to do in the event of an emergency. How are they going to react? Who's going to make what phone calls and be where and how long? And I think that that's really important, and it's times like these that we see we're not invincible. It's going to happen.
And I might add, without giving a particular solution, that people who see something like this and run towards it need to be aware that it can be complex.
Absolutely.
That they can injure themselves, that there can be a fire. There's certainly many cases of heroic actions where people have tried to get folks out. And I mean, you always got to admire folks like that, but also you got to realize that sometimes something can happen that you didn't predict or you weren't prepared for, because we aren't really first responders. Any thoughts on that?
Just to really be aware of your surroundings. We had a situation on that. That right-hand wheel was bent in and inward, and at any time we could have jerked on it just a little bit too much. It could have fallen, could have hurt other people, could have hurt people inside, could have hurt us that were responding. So I think it's just really important to be aware of your surroundings, get everybody out as quickly as possible and away from the accident.
Good for you. And also, I'll bet you, I think you told me this, but you talked to the pilot and probably the passengers.
I did.
And what we always got to remember is bent metal is not a good thing. It's
Exactly.
going to cost you money, but what's really important is nobody got
At
hurt.
the end of the day, they all walked away.
Exactly. Thank you.
My pleasure.
It's great having you on the show. And,
Thank you.
And thanks for doing what you did as a citizen.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed tonight's program. It's fun to have Toni on, and it's I thought it was very interesting how people reacted to this incident. And if you're around airplanes long enough, around airports long enough, you're probably going to see something like this. So it was a little bit different program, but I thought it was quite enjoyable, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Remember that I hope you're a member of the Safety Foundation, so we can help do programs like this and our safety seminars and our scholarship stuff like that. Please go to our website if you're not a member and join, or go to our website and renew for 2015. And until next time, fly safe.